Well. Welcome to another class, week 2 of AI introduction. And I am so glad that I have Baby G here and we have Arthur here. And you guys are just like the best to be here. We appreciate it. I think that probably was someone trying to ding to get in, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, so what we're going to do a quick recap of what we learned last week. And then after that, then we'll proceed into the actual course. And so I won't take up a whole lot of your time today. Just rocking and rolling and making it happen. Let me know if y'all still see the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we'll get it started.
Hey everyone, I'm Grayson, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of artificial intelligence, or AI for short. Whether you're a seasoned AI guru or a curious.
What'd you say, Baby G?
So when you flip it, go to presentation mode, F5, or hit the right down there by the zoom arrow, hit the presentation mode, so we don't see that. Okay. Down at the bottom. Bottom. Go to the bottom right of that window, right there. Yeah,
okay.
Go to presentation mode.
That better?
No, click on it. You didn't click it. You got to click the little presentation icon right there beside the Zoom in the bottom right.
Well, this is a Microsoft.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Oh, okay. So hang tight, guys.
Hey everyone, I'm
Yeah, it's in presentation mode over here. You still see everything? Let me start over. Baby G, you still there?
Yeah, but you're still in the mode where like you're editing. You're not in presentation mode. You on a PC or Mac?
I'm on a PC.
Hit F5 on your keyboard.
Okay. Yeah. No, see, this is not. My file was too big to upload it, and so I'm having to share screen outside the program.
Right. That's fine. You can still go to presentation mode and share that window.
Okay. Let's see.
Figuring out a lot of those details as we go. Thank you again for coming to the VA with your healthcare.
Okay.
So stop sharing.
Okay, so that's the presentation mode on my end.
Right, but you got to share that window, so it'll be you're sharing your other. So stop sharing your screen altogether.
Okay.
Now click share from your control center and pick the window that's in presentation mode to share out to the world. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, but that's pretty much how it was set up.
No, it's not. The way you showed us, that was where you edited and work on it with all the toolbars and stuff. Presentation mode will show just the slide deck full screen. You wasn't in full screen mode.
Yeah, click on that.
Well, that's where we were.
And let's see.
Then Windows.
And that's going to be, nope, not that one.
No, I mean, that's the only way to get to the file.
Oh, okay. Well, try it.
No, that's not you have to. So, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Let me open up PowerPoint. Open.
Guys, you're getting a free PowerPoint training.
All right, let me put this up on my big screen.
See, in Teams, I know what he's talking about. I could do that in Teams. I don't know how to do it on this.
Well, this is the first time that like the first two.
So I want to present. I want to share a screen.
Okay. You have the actual PowerPoint in your email.
Right. But I'm just share the best way. Share the same screen with 2 monitors. Share screen works best on a good computer. Share, okay, share. Window. You see how my presentation shows the whole, it don't show all of my tools and stuff. So when you go share, so when you click on present, you're gonna go share screen, then you're gonna share, and then you click the Windows tab after you put the PowerPoint in presentation mode by hitting F5.
No, that didn't work.
Back in. There we go. So when you click present, then share, and then click on Windows and pick the presentation when it's in full presentation mode, like I just showed you. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Kami Grayson, and today.
Okay, so that's still. How are you seeing it now?
Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it the way you do it. I have to show you exactly what I'm talking about another time because I don't want to take all your time because I'm confusing you. I'm sorry.
You're not confusing me. It's just I don't think it's doing it.
I just did it.
I know you did it, but over here it's not.
And I'm using the same applications, and I'm on a PC, so I know it'll work.
Yeah, you just have to walk me through it again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to hold you up.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We'll get it fixed next time.
No problem. It's a learning thing.
So can you still see the PowerPoint?
When you reshare it, that window or that screen where it's at, we can see it.
Okay.
Yep, there it is.
Okay. And all right. Can you still see it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We're gonna go then. That didn't work. I gotta do it for me.
Hey everyone, I'm Kami Grayson, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of artificial intelligence, or AI for short. Whether you're a seasoned AI guru or a curious newbie, I promise you're in for a treat. So let's get started. First things first, what exactly is AI? Simply put, AI is the ability of a computer or a robot to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. Think of tasks like understanding natural language, recognizing patterns, or making decisions. Essentially, it's like having a super smart assistant that never sleeps. Now, it's easy to feel a bit overwhelmed by AI, especially with all the technical jargon thrown around. But don't worry, I'm here to break it down for you. AI has been around for quite some time. In fact, the concept can be traced back to ancient myths about intelligent beings. But the formal field of AI research began in 1956 at the Dartmouth Conference. Yes, that's nearly 70 years ago. One of the key figures in AI's early days was Alan Turing, a British mathematician. He's the guy who laid much of the groundwork with his theoretical work in the 1930s and 1940s. Fast forward to the early 2000s, and we saw the development of machine learning, which took AI to new heights. And let's not forget the introduction of deep learning technologies in 2017, which brought us even closer to creating machines that can think and learn like humans. So what does this mean for you and me? Well, AI is already a big part of our daily lives. Ever asked Alexa to play your favorite song or use Google Maps to find the quickest route? That's AI in action. It's in our smartphones, our cars, and even in our social media feeds, recommending posts and ads based on our preferences. But AI isn't just about convenience. It's also a powerful tool for innovation. Take healthcare, for instance. AI is helping doctors diagnose diseases more accurately and develop personalized treatment plans. In finance, AI algorithms can predict market trends and optimize investment strategies. The possibilities are endless. Now, I know what you're thinking, Kami. This all sounds great, but what about the risks? It's a valid concern. AI, like any powerful technology, comes with its own set of challenges. Ethical considerations, data privacy, and job displacement are just a few of the issues we need to address as we continue to develop and deploy AI systems. So, where do we go from here? The key is to stay informed and engaged. Whether you're a developer looking to build the next big AI application, or a consumer wanting to understand how AI impacts your life, knowledge is power. And that's exactly what we'll be focusing on in this series. Over the next 10 weeks, we'll explore the basics of AI, its history, and its applications across different industries. We'll also tackle some of the more complex topics like machine learning and deep learning. By the end of this course, you'll have a solid understanding of AI and how to leverage it in your own life and career. So, what are you waiting for? Join me on this exciting journey into the world of AI. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.
All right. So any questions from that?
I don't.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so in your worksheet, your lesson for today, basically what we're going to be doing is pretty much talking about how we feed in to AI. How do AI learn from us? So anybody have any idea without reading this presentation how AI gets its knowledge?
It's inputted into the system. It's inputted into the system via our interaction, via the web, via surveys, via telephone communications, anything that can record or pull or retain data. They sell databases of our information, all kinds of stuff, legally and illegally.
What do you mean by illegally?
The black web, the sale of databases from these companies, compromising databases and all these people information. That's a good way of saying that somebody stole it or sold it.
Yeah, big time, big time.
It's a big money business too.
Yeah, and so have you seen? I know you guys probably seen those AIs where they got the celebrities and it makes it look like the celebrities are actually talking.
Oh yeah.
And so to me, that's a fine point, right, Baby G? Even with recording artists, that's something that they're still trying to figure out how to make sure these artists get paid, because AI can duplicate your voice. My video just explained it. That was my voice. I didn't sit there and record that whole thing. AI did.
But you had to program it.
But I had to program it.
So part of it's yours and part of it's technologies. What's that split and it's hard to say.
Yeah. And so I let the people at work hear the video, and it was me. They didn't have a clue that I fed that into AI.
A lot of people don't have a clue.
Mm-mm. And so, I guess the voice pattern eventually they can figure it out if it's live or Memorex. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that's something that they're working on to make sure everyone gets paid their due diligence. Okay, so that's part of it. So that's part of the warm up. The actual presentation will be what is a machine learning? What is machine learning? So we'll go back to the PowerPoint.
Right back, hold on.
Let's see. I closed it. No. Okay, so here is what pretty much what we just sort of went over, the teaching machine. Who is the actual teaching machine? Who's teaching who? Is AI teaching you or are you teaching AI? And so that's the part that people don't really understand, that in order for AI to work, it has to be, things have to be programmed into AI in order for AI to know what to do. So like he was saying earlier, people are dumping the information. So you dump in the information and then you get data out. And computers have been that way since the dawn of time. For people to actually program a computer to see what we're seeing right now, the coding was part of AI. You coding the computers to do the websites. You're coding. Man, websites. When I first learned how to design a website, I mean, it was basically just coding, figuring out, putting the whole color, red, blue, green, orange. All that was a part of it. And now it's already set up for you to just go in and use a template. We've come a long, long way since the beginning of doing these actual programming these computers. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is how computers learn from data. Instead of being programmed step by step, the computer finds patterns. And so with that being said, what do you think, what type of patterns do you think the computer is finding, Arthur?
Oh, you're talking about yourself, right? And yourself, okay, or speech,
Yeah.
facial expression, tone, pretty much that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so what do you think if a computer was to come in contact with something it's never, ever seen before? What do you think would happen?
It could just stop, try to analyze what it is, and probably base it on something close to that. So it could be, let's say, I don't know, let's say a refrigerator, a 5-foot refrigerator, and then it stops. I don't know what that is, but compared to like a human, a 5-foot human, said it doesn't have this, but it does have this. But yeah, so I'm guessing. I don't know.
That's a good guess, though. What do you think, Baby G?
As far as how does it learn?
Mm-hmm. What do you think would happen if you fed it some information that it wasn't familiar with?
Unrecognized data cannot compute, will store and process later as I get more sources of content. I know what to do.
That does not compute. That does not compute.
And that's what they do.
Yeah, pretty much. Error message.
Error message, unrecognized data, unrecognized prompt, unrecognized. I can't calculate or I can't generate it this time, but it stores that information and that creates a new query right there. Yeah. So anything that's similar, and it starts piling it on.
So Alexa would tell you, I don't recognize that right now. I don't recognize that. And you'd be like, why don't you recognize it? And so, yeah, that's absolutely correct.
You funny you say that. You can ask Alexa, Ask Alexa how big is her database of information.
You think she'll answer?
Ask her.
Alexa. Alexa. Is she on back there?
Yeah, it's plugged in.
Oh, she don't sound like she's answering. Alexa, how big is your database
Of information.
of information?
Better hear it.
We barely can hear her, but she's answering. She got some answers. What would she say?
You tell me. I don't use Alexa.
Oh, you don't.
Well, let's find out. Go ahead, say it. I'll walk over there.
Okay, Arthur's gonna go walk over there and see what she's saying.
Go for it.
Are you surprised she had an answer?
I was, and she was going for a long time too.
So,
What was I supposed to tell her, baby G?
Alexa, how big is your database of information?
Alexa, how big is your database of information? You can turn it up.
Again, it was just going on about different companies sharing that. This ain't about her.
Alexa, how big is your database of information? She went to Cambridge.
It's like giving a dictionary type meaning of it.
So basically, she was dictionary dumped.
So that means that now you could tell Alexa, for the starting now, you can give her a prompt and see what she does with it. Just when you get some time, give her a prompt and see what she does with it.
Okay, everybody, we want you to try this. Give Alexa a prompt and see what she does with it. So that'll be in the next video as well. Okay, let's see. And make decisions based on examples. Okay, so making decisions based on examples. The computer will make a decision based on examples if they don't have the answer. So now I think that's part of when you do these GPT chats and all these different things at the bottom, it does tell you, the disclaimer does tell you that these, this might not be 100% accurate. So they don't want you to think that they know everything because they're still learning. And as long as you see that disclosure at the bottom, you do have to check your work. You do have to go back and make sure what's the data is being said or given, produced, that is correct. So they call it fact checking now these days. So you definitely have to fact check with all these chat GPT.
Validation of content.
Because you can get sued for it too, especially if they're telling you something wrong. And you do not want to go there.
Yep.
So let's go to the next slide. Okay, human versus machine. Human learn from experience, observations. Machines learn from labeled data. They look for patterns like we do, just with math and code.
Sounds similar to what I just said, ain't it?
Exactly. It sounded exactly what you just said. You dead on. Dead on. What do you think, Arthur?
With what? I agree with.
So a human that's putting in negative thoughts or negative patterns, that can kind of sway AI to go in a different direction. So it can be used for good and it can be used for bad. So now that we're seeing, they are trying to stop this and they're trying to stop that and they're trying to stop this. They're trying to stop us from using other people's likeness, right? People do it and they sell it, but they're not supposed to. I think I just heard on the news of some kid, college student, changed the person, made it look like this person was doing some bad stuff, and she actually wasn't doing the bad stuff, and it really drove her into she killed herself because the rumors were out there. That college student put it out there, and the rumors were out there like Debbie Takes Dallas, So it was really bad, but it wasn't really her. And we've seen that on movies, right? We've seen different where people, slice these movies and try to make it seem like it's that person. Well, AI is so good at it. These videos, they're so good at it, especially with a great programmer, that you won't hardly know the difference. A professional is probably the only one who can tell the difference. Any take on that, Baby G?
Identity theft is real.
Yeah, it is. Big time.
So you look at it from the standpoint of, if we can digitally recreate something, where does that leave people like photographers? Their work gonna get harder.
Right.
Or is it gonna get easier for them to create a false image of someone? So where does the creativity truly come from? Just like with music, we have AI, we have all these different sounds people create. Back in the day, you had to create your own sounds, and you had to get a bunch of creators together and create a song. Now, I can create a whole song by myself.
Yeah. Well, I've done the intros. All of our intros now are AI generated. I can sit and write songs, and I can kick them out now like crazy because I got a book full of stuff. I know another person I know has all this poetry that he needs to get out. And so, I'm sure he'll be able to kick it out just like that now, because basically all you have to do is just feed it in, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, input and output. You have to put it in order to get it out. Okay, input, information the machine sees, like images of cats and dogs. Output, what the machine predicts, like cat or dog. And so basically what we're going here with this is, if I describe, this animal has a long tail and it has whiskers, and it likes tuna. What type of animal do you think that is?
I mean, that could be anything, but I would say cat. Like you said,
Obviously.
yeah,
Obviously.
yeah.
And so that's kind of the same thing with AI. I mean, like you said, it could be a number of animals. You don't even have to be a little cat. It could be a jaguar or something. So it's trying to determine what you're trying to say. It's trying to figure out, okay, maybe she's talking about a cat. Sometimes when we generate these AI graphics, it don't come out the way we expect it to come out, because the computer is still trying to figure out how to tighten it up and make it what we put in. So it's, it takes a lot of generations, put it that way. So when you're doing a graphic, it's a lot of times it takes for you to be able to do it over and over and over again before you get the perfect match of what you're looking for. You have a take on that, Baby G?
Not that one. I'm not a big animal fan.
Okay.
But you brought up a good point. To get closer to what your desired result is, the more details that you can make your prompt or your question, the more accurate your results will be.
Absolutely. So this is something you can do at home. So go into Chat GPT and just think of things that you might think the computer don't really know. Just say, like, if you want to kind of describe a caterpillar without saying the name, describe the caterpillar the way you see it, with the eyes and the 1,000 legs and furry and nasty looking, like I want to step on it or whatever. But describe it to your best ability and see what the graphic designer comes up with. So just work on your prompts. This is the main thing. Work on your prompt, perfect those prompts, and here's a little hint for you guys. You can even ask Chat GPT to help you with prompts for a certain specification of what you're looking for. So you could just say, I want to do, like I designed our conference room. You saw all of the drawings, right?
Mhm.
I
Yep.
designed that because I looked at the space and then I look at the things that we actually have. And so I asked for prompts to make that realistic so I could see how my conference room was going to look. So that's the exact same thing. You just have to be real specific and, creative, making sure that you got like, my microphones are gold. You have to be specific. You have to tell it exactly what you want in order to get your output.
So can Chat GPT make pictures and images if you put it in, or the Chat GPT is mainly for writing?
Chat GPT is mainly for writing,
Okay.
but there are each one has a graphics,
Okay.
a suite for graphics.
Okay.
So, for instance, like Chat GPT has Dale, and so is it Deli? Is that how you pronounce that? Deli, Dalle.
I think so. Delhi.
Yeah. I just call it Dale for short, but it has that, and that's where I got started. I learned from. I was on the waiting list for what, 3 or 4 months before I was able to get on to take the classes for ChatGPT in 2022. So I've been actually working on this since 2022, and that's where I learned. I learned from that program, but since then I have grown to love and like other programs. So for work, because my Chat GPT knows me, knows my style of writing, it knows everything that I programmed in it. So it sounds more like me. So when I'm writing a letter, asking it to help me compose the letter, or asking it to, if I come up with my own letter, but it might come out harsh, it might not read well to me, I copy it and paste, put it in there, and ask it to change the tone, or make the tone professional, or make the tone more humorous. You can do all that. It's more like the co-pilot. It's more like your assistant at that point, once you get it to that point. But you do have to pay for it to be able to, for you to keep your same prompts, so it remembers.
Okay.
You have to pay for that suite in order to keep it remembering
So
everything
so
about
pretty much
you.
you're just paying for memory, just
Yeah,
like a.
pretty much.
Okay.
You're paying for the brain. All right, so try the cat versus dog activity, or whatever activity you want to try. Labels, examples, spot patterns. See how you train a machine. And you can also do that, like he just gave us. I hadn't even thought about doing with Alexa. So he just gave us a good practice mode on your voice boxes to learn how to do different things on that. Okay, so the last frame, I actually did this on Chatan AI. And so you can chop this down. You should have this in your email, but I just basically said, I described a cat, and that's what came out. In the park with flowers, the dog in a field with green grass on a pretty day. And that's pretty much what we got out of it.
Not bad. Very nice. Very nice.
Nice and clear and crisp, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this was only the second try. It only took me 2 tries for the cat, and the dog was just spot on.
Cool. So,
Now I could have said Siamese cat. I could have said what was my puppy? A Maltese. I could have said added a Maltese, and it probably would have gave me the Maltese puppy. And so you can describe it to the best of your ability of what you want it to come out, how you want it to come out. Okay, guys, that concludes our little session for today. Any questions? Anything that you might wanted to have seen today that we didn't get to? Anything?
Are there any other, or like ChatGPT is you can use it for free? Are there any other free ones out there you could use to practice on?
Yeah, so you can use, I think the best one that for me right now, and I just want to give it kudos because it doesn't have, it didn't have the fair chance that the other programs had, is Bing, B-I-N-G,
Okay,
and
yeah.
that's Copilot. And I think Copilot is probably the second best out there to me.
To chat?
Uh-huh. Do you have a preference?
Whatever you tell me to use.
Well, I think Copilot is good because I am actually grooming our Copilot to kind of help me here at the studio. So I'm trying to groom Copilot to be like an assistant, with now it can tell me what's the best way for this. Like I want to say thank you for being on my show. Now she knows what my show is. Now she knows, what type of guest I have and things like that. So that helps a whole lot. And we do have our answering services now, AI, and her name is Rosie. And Rosie takes from our website. So anything, if you call our phone number, Rosie can forward the phone call to either Arthur, Dr. Ron, DJ T Nice, or myself. All you have to do when you call Rosie and say, Rosie, I need to be transferred to Arthur. And Rosie will greet you with a smile. Rosie would ask you if you need any help. She's working on, I'm trying to do 2 programs together so she can keep up with my calendar. So between Rosie and Copilot, I'll be able to have a full assistant to kind of help me with some of the little stuff, the little tasks, right?
Okay.
Especially booking. Booking is my biggest challenge because I don't have an assistant, and I have a plethora of a bunch of stuff going on. So I think this would be a good way to help, and it's a good trial, right? It's something we can use, and we can share in our classes if it worked, if it didn't work, So I think that's still a plus for that. But Rosie. And it's so crazy. Rosie, y'all remember the robot from the Jetsons?
Mm-hmm.
That's where they got the name from. So her name's Rosie. And like Alexa, you can't change her name. It has to stay the same. But Rosie's great.
And that Rosie's in Hampton.
Huh?
Rosie's Casino. In Hampton.
Oh, Rosie Casino in Hampton.
Rosie's.
So, okay. So that concludes the class today. Next week, we will have a little bit more fun. Make sure you go through your student activity sheet and do the exercises that we discussed today. And if you have any questions, please let me know. These will be uploaded on our YouTube page, but they're not. You're not going to be able to get them unless you are attending the class. So it's marked private. It'll be marked private for now until we get our series up and everything kind of perfected to the best of our ability. And so, like, I got to learn how to do this other thing. But I'm going to stop the camera right now. And until next time, thank you for joining the class.
Check your Telegram. Cammy, check your Telegram when you get a chance.
Okay. Well, I'm not ending the thing. I'm just ending the